So, having an email list as a small business, an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or somebody who has an app is super important. And this is probably something that you already know. It's one of the best ways to connect with your audience, to nurture leads. And you can do this by sending people through an automation, which can also be called a sales funnel. And the more people that you have on your list, the better, right? Well, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. And what we're going to do today is go through what people don't tell you about when starting your email list. And we're also going to talk about what to do about it so that you maximize your time and the money that you spend on growing this list. And to help us do that, we're going to look at the different ways that you can get new email subscribers. But first, if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe to the channel because we're going to talk about no-code tools, AI, and marketing for small businesses. And if you want to learn more about no-code tools and building something with no-code, then go to our website to get our free guide or jump right in and join our premium courses. So there are various ways that you can get new subscribers. And this is important because it's going to lead into our general message of this video. So, for example, let's say that you create a new app and you want to get new people to join your app. Well, what you can do is do things like advertise. So you can create a campaign, let's say on Facebook, send people to a lead magnet that you have. And we talked about this in a recent video. And then people will then go through your automations and hopefully a certain percentage will then go and download your app. So creating an ad and sending people to a landing page is one way to get email subscribers. Another way is content marketing. So let's say that you have a podcast and you have podcast episodes. And then during the podcast, at the beginning, middle, and end, you have a call out, a call to action, telling people to go get this free guide that you have. So you can think about the difference between the people who listen to the podcast episode and get your free guide versus those who see an ad and get your free guide. People might find you through your website and see the call to action to get the free guide. They might find you through Instagram and go to Linktree to get the guide. They might do it through a YouTube video. And also they might do it through a competition. So you might have a competition where people can get something, win something, and then everyone gets added to your email list. So as I was going through those different ways that people can join your email list, you might have noticed that that experience and that lead is going to be different depending on how they find you. And what we're talking about here is cold versus hot leads. Okay, cold versus hot leads. And there's a spectrum here so people can be in between. But when you advertise, people are very cautious about this. When people see ads for courses, lead magnets, tutorials, webinars, they're a little bit cautious because they don't know you. This is their first interaction with you if you're targeting cold leads. And I'm sure you've gone through this process as well when you've seen an ad on Instagram about a webinar that's going to help you increase your sales. You think, okay, who is this person? What are they offering? What are they going to sell me? So the way that you go into that relationship with the brand or individual is a little bit cautious. You think, okay, I need to get more value. I need to have more trust. On the other hand, think of a time when you found a YouTube channel and you just binge watched a load of videos. You found this YouTube channel. You really enjoyed the first video. You watched a second, a third, a fourth. You found them through an organic way, not somebody trying to target you specifically. Think about how different that feels than finding somebody through an ad. Those initial videos, and because it is a video, allows you to really connect with the person on the other side. It allows you to build the trust in that person, and also you're getting a lot of value from them too. And then if we just forget about the email list part of this, which one of those scenarios are you more likely to say, I want to buy your book, I want to get your app, I want to buy your course? It's the one where you've already consumed that content, where you're not apprehensive about what they're trying to do, the one that you have gained a connection with. So the main point is this: not all leads are created equally. Not all leads are created equally. Let's say you have a large list, 10,000 people, But all of these people came through a competition. They wanted to win that free iPad. They don't know you. They don't really care about what you offer. In your next email that you send to them, you say, oh, by the way, I have a course on this subject. Your conversion rates, your open rates with the email, your click-through rates are going to be low. Whereas imagine that you have 1,000 people come through your YouTube channel. A YouTube channel where you're offering value and you're putting yourself out there to connect with people. These open rates, click-through rates, and conversion rates are going to be much higher. But what does this mean when it comes to building your email list? Well, two things. Firstly, when building this email list at the start, when you're thinking about how am I going to grow my subscribers, start with your end goal in mind. What action do you want people to ultimately take? If you have an app, this is going to be to become a paid subscriber to your app. If you have a course, it's to buy your course. If you offer design services, it's to sign up to your design services. And then think about the way that you're going to get new leads. It might be through a variety of these things. And even though we talked about how people respond differently to ads than they do to a YouTube video, you can do both. You can do everything. But when you are designing the automations, the series of emails that go after that first initial email, it's important to nurture the lead in the right way. So if they came through an ad, then you're going to have to build up more trust and offer more value. You're going to have to take them from a cold lead to a warm and a hot lead. If they came through a podcast series where you know they're listening to your podcast and they're doing a call to action at the end of the podcast, then they're going to come in a different way with a different mindset. And that automation might be different to the one that you created for people coming through ads. And a lot of this is going to be nuanced, and it's going to depend on how much time you have in order to make these email automations specialized. But I do recommend thinking this through, sending people through different automations depending on how they find you. And also thinking about how can I create the highest quality leads right from the start. Usually this means content marketing, where they're going to interact with you first before coming to your automation. But it can also just be a numbers game. If ads are going to work for you, you have a great product and you have a good automation, then ads are going to be a great resource for you. But don't get caught up on just numbers, because having a large email list does come at some costs, especially if those people are engaged. Your delivery rates are going to be lower. You're also going to have higher costs for the email list, and it's going to be harder for you to really engage with your audience through email. So again, not all leads are created equally, and this is important to know as you're building out your email list. Now, what I recommend you do next is go check out our playlist on the different email marketing tutorials that we made, because we go through automations, lead magnets, and also how to set things up in general. And we'll have more email marketing tutorials coming for you as well. And then if you want to stay on YouTube, then check out some of our other playlists if you want to delve into different topics. And before you go, be sure to get our guide to no-code tools. We go through the different tools available right now and how best to use them in whatever it is that you do. And one last request, if you have found this useful, then please share it with a friend. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.